The annual Walk and Roll for Muscular Dystrophy Canada is coming up next month, May 13th at JC Park in St. Catharines. And we have Brian Mino with us. And Brian, great to have the walk back in person after 3 years. It's hard to believe, 3 years.
It's
virtual.
hard, yeah. 3 years we did virtual walks, so it's nice to get the community back together in North St. Catharines so we can all get together and be a community again.
Let's talk about your son, Christopher, because I know he's the ambassador here in St. Catharines and Niagara for the walk. Tell me about Christopher.
So Christopher, he was diagnosed with Duchenne muscular dystrophy when he was 4 years old. It's something he was born with, but we didn't...
Were there signs up to that point?
There was no signs at all. He perfectly normal birth, everything, the pregnancy went well. And then we actually caught it by fluke. We had a doctor's visit and a doctor that we were living in Kapuskasing at the time. A doctor noticed something odd on the blood test. So he called us and he said, I want you to get Christopher and we're going to call sick kids. So that made our heart sink pretty fast when the doctor says we're going to call sick kids. So that 4 years old, after a number of tests, he was diagnosed with Duchenne muscular dystrophy. And the life expectancy at the time, he was going to stop walking at age 10 and possibly not live past 20 years old for normal children with Duchenne muscular dystrophy.
And is that the most prevalent form of muscular dystrophy?
It's one of the most prevalent forms. Yeah, it's one of the worst forms of muscular dystrophy. There's about 700 different neuromuscular disorders, and that is one of the main ones. And it affects essentially the DNA within Christopher, within children that have that.
At what age did you start seeing the symptoms, the signs of it then?
Honestly, we still didn't see it, so he's been on drugs, steroids since then to keep his muscles strong. What happens, most parents will see it around 9-10 years old when the children stop jumping and stop walking around and having trouble just walking and doing daily activities and falling. So we were lucky, we caught it ahead of the curve and we were able to get him on medication before that. And also he'll wear braces at night to keep up his muscles strong, and he's on a BiPAP as well to keep up his heart muscles going as well, because as you know, heart and lung are some of your biggest muscles, so that's what affects the long-term diagnosis as well.
A lot of aches and pains?
Not too bad, a little bit, just like if you run a marathon and how your legs would get tired after a marathon, it's like that. That's what he faces every day. So it's something he lives with, soreness, but overall he's still pretty good.
Chris is a bright kid, I know, 90s averages at St. Francis Catholic Secondary School. Yes, Brock University right now, studying game
programming, yeah. He's a first-year student at Brock University, so we're very lucky to be, the community at Brock has been very supportive in helping him through the classes and making sure he's in a wheelchair while at Brock, just because of the distances, how big the campus is. But they've been great at rearranging classes and making sure everything's handicap accessible for him and any other children that are in the program as well too. So
at 19 years old, you're now approaching that original warning of 20 years life expectancy. And does he have goals? Does he have hopes and dreams beyond Brock University?
Yeah, he wants to do game programming. He loves playing games like every other 19-year-old male. He plays his League of Legends and all that on computers. He built his own computer when he was about 15. So he just wants to work in the computer industry and game design, that sort of thing in the future.
How important has Muscular Dystrophy Canada been for you and your family?
Oh, they've been fantastic. I mean, the support that they've been able to give us, not just monetary or funding for different activities, but also just the community support. And to see other people and to bring that network together, other people that are affected by these neuromuscular disorders, to say there is hope. There's another gentleman, he's same diagnosis, he's about 30 years old, he graduated York a few years ago. To see other people that are affected with the same disorders going through university, living that life, it gives you a lot of hope that it's not a death sentence at 20, it's actually something that you can lead a successful life. Chris
has friends, I imagine, that he had in high school, maybe some new ones at Brock. Also, these friends from the muscular dystrophy community must be important to him.
They are, yeah. It's just to connect with people and to know that they're going through the same thing. They look the same. They're the same height. Chris, because of the drugs, he's smaller in stature. So to see other people with the same, that look the same as him is very important as well.
Research is really important, and a lot of the funding, we're hoping to raise $30,000 here in Niagara
We are.
with the walk and roll on May 13th. Some of that money goes to research, and that's a really important factor, and I'm sure you and your family have benefited from some of that research that's been done.
Oh, it's amazing, yeah. So there's other children that, going back even 20 years, that stopped walking at 10 years old, and Chris, like I said, he can still walk at 19 years old because of that research that has been done, and then just different medication, different abilities to prolong walking or prolong his life. Yeah.
As the ambassador for the walk, what is expected of Chris and the rest of his family, his sister Emily as well?
So we're lucky. So Chris he'll go up and hopefully he'll say a few things, but he'll show again the hope that there is a normal life that can be led, even living with these neuromuscular disorders. And then his sister Emily, who's 15, so a lot of times we're lucky. She'll sing the national anthem sometimes. She'll help out, and then a lot of his friends will come out and walk with him and roll with Chris. So he'll do the 5K portion of it. And then as a family, it's to gather people together. And again, it's not something that we have to be afraid of, but something that we want to get out in the community, to raise awareness, to raise the advocacy for it. That it is something that it's a normal part of life. Just to, so when you see a child with that, and to raise awareness to know what he's facing.
May 13th starts at what time, and what exactly is going on throughout the morning?
Yeah, so the registration starts at 10. So between 10 and 11, we'll register, get together. At 11 o'clock, we'll do the anthem, we'll do the 5K walk, which will take approximately an hour by the time everybody gets through. We'll kind of walk through JC Park, down Ontario Street and back. And then after that, we'll have some food, some prizes to raise a little bit of funds as well, and just a community gathering in the park. So we're hoping for it's a nice day.
How great is it going to be back at JC Park, to be back with the community and all the supporters of the community, just to see that hope?
It's amazing, and we have friends and family that come. My family from Sarnia will come up. So when we did the virtual walk, it was tough. Across the whole country, people would just kind of do their own thing. But to be in one space and take pictures and to get together and break bread and share with each other and have that and see the smiles, and again, walk as a community, as a group of 100, 200 people down Ontario Street and raise that awareness is going to be fantastic.
I know you said registration is at 10 o'clock, but is there a way for people to pre-register, sort of get the jump on that?
There is, yeah. If you go to the Muscular Dystrophy Canada website, you can pre-register and create teams as well. So Team Christopher is one of the biggest fundraisers in all of Canada year after year. We're very lucky with the support that we have from family, friends, Facebook friends, high school, work people, so they can donate beforehand as well. And then, and if you're not registered, you can still come and participate in the walk as well.
Brian Mino, thank you so much for sharing Christopher's story with us.
Thank you very much.